Hi everyone, I'm Kelly from the Teaching Python podcast, and today is tip number 3. So, APIs, not magic, just ChatGPTs. So, I'm really excited about today's tip because it's something that I really love. We're talking about APIs and what really powers AI chatbots and why understanding requests in Python matters. When you use ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude, you're not talking to a robot. You're talking to an API. Or in computer science terms, you're sending a post request or a structured message to an API. Well, what is an API? An API is an application programming interface. And my students love learning about these. They're not that complicated, and in fact, they're one of the simplest and most powerful concepts in coding. So here's what's actually happening when you type into an AI chatbot. So your prompt is sent to a specific web address called an API endpoint. And that address connects your input to a large language model like GPT-4. And that model generates a reply based on math and training data and all those parameters that you've sent it. And that response is sent back to you through the API and pops up in your chat window. It feels like a conversation, but it's really just sending data out and receiving data back. There's no memory, there's no magic. It's just well-managed context between being like resent in the background. Now, for non-computer science teachers, this matters because you're already using APIs all the time. When you pull up a student list in your gradebook system, that's an API. It's an API retrieving data from a database. When you enter your grades, you're posting the data back through another API. And if you enter the wrong grade or duplicate an entry, that system doesn't always catch it. Because unless you send the right context, it doesn't know if you're being wrong or right. So APIs are also how Google Docs connect to slides, or how Canva pulls from Drive, or how LMS talks to testing tools. They are the silent bridges behind nearly every smart tool that you use in your classroom, even if you don't see them. So what, right? Why does that matter? Well, if you understand that AI tools are just data pipelines, not these massive thinking machines, you start asking these better questions, using better prompts, trusting the results less blindly, and understanding what's possible and what's not. For computer science teachers, well, awesome. This is your gateway to help students move from these users to actual builders. Older students can call APIs themselves using Python. They can build simple apps that send data to large language models, and they can display the results just like ChatGPT does. You can teach the students the difference between a wrapper, like a chatbot interface on some other website, and the raw API that it's actually built on. So one way to do that is to have the students use the request library in Python to call the OpenAI API directly. Remember, age restrictions are required, so please look into that and ask your school for guidance on that. But have them build a simple UI. You can use Flask. You can experiment with vague versus specific posts. You can log the JSON responses to see how there's formatting and tokens and structure affect what comes back. By doing this, students learn what large language models actually do and how to build them responsibly with AI. And that modern software, well, it's just built by connecting systems. And those systems talk through APIs. The moment that you understand that tools like ChatGPT are just structured data systems and not these real magic minds is the moment that you take back control. AI doesn't think, it responds to structure. And structure is something every teacher and student can learn to master. So, APIs. For Teaching Python, this is Kelly signing off.